got some really talented kids coming through in the welterweight division. You've got John Ennis, which I think is going to be something big in the future. Conor Benn. Conor Benn is another one that I know that seems to be put. I don't think he's anywhere. No, I'm sorry, Conor. Don't mean to knock you, mate. I would think you're doing great things.
Let me ask you this: do you think that if he wasn't Nigel Benn's dad, do you think he would have the type of awareness and excitement around his career if he wasn't Nigel Benn's son?
Do you know what?
And obviously, it's hard to kind of separate it, but I just feel like a lot of guys who are 18-0 don't really get, even if they're like Boots Ennis, for instance, like he's doing some great things, and also Virgil Ortiz. I'm sure you're probably going to mention him. They've done some really good things, but I don't think that they are regarded the same. The excitement around them isn't quite the level that it is of Nigel Benn.
It depends.
Excuse me,
you're asking.
Conor Benn.
Is it is if you are asking, is it the excitement? I think that does kind of build in to that idea, if you want to call it that. I think that if he wasn't Nigel Benn's son, maybe he wouldn't have the potential hype. I actually think that Conor Benn's very good, but he's nowhere near that kind of level yet, in my opinion. He's still very raw. He's a great fighter, and don't get me wrong, he might have put that lad away the other day, but it's not world level. It's certainly not your level or Jaron Ennis's level for me right now.
Yeah.
The only thing I like about Conor Benn and being ringside and down at the O2 and watching him, I think he's kind of. It's not like the Chris Eubank Jr. thing where there's hype behind him just because his son. He has actually done the graft, and that's one thing that I like about him is he admitted, listen, I'm raw. I'm nothing like my dad was. And he has gone and he's learned his mistakes. He's got this he's been coarse, got massive eyes out here, and but he has actually worked hard to get there. Do I think he's anywhere near?
What do you mean by he's done the graft? What do you mean by he's done the graft?
Yeah, sorry, English thing. He's worked hard. He's worked hard throughout his career where he's tested himself. I personally don't think he will get to the point of world level unless he's been managed very well. But
and see,
credit to him, right?
Oh wow, it's good. So it is interesting to hear you say that. But like for me, for instance, if I were to fight Conor Benn, like I'm going at Conor Benn like he's a world champion, even though he doesn't have a world championship title. I'm not going at him like, well, you're Nigel Benn's son, you don't work hard, and you just you earned it, you didn't earn everything that you have. Like, and it's good to hear you say like he actually has worked for everything that he's gotten to this point. Obviously, there's a little tad bit of help right there because of his name, but he's still working through that. And I think a lot of times, a lot of these athletes don't understand that it's not going to always be given to them. And again, just going back to my kids, like I'm there's going to be a point where they're not going to be given anything at all, and they're going to have to understand that you have to work for this. Go get that A on that test, and then come back and talk to me.
That's the way.
Go win that game and score X amount of points, then come back and talk to me. Because if you aren't working hard in school, if you aren't working hard at home or in sports and things like that, I can't just give you rewards and awards for virtually nothing, because that's not how I grew up, and I know where I got. And if that's how you grow up, then you won't get where you want to be in life. You know what I'm saying? So I'm glad to hear you say that he has worked for the things that he has.
And I'm the first to. Sometimes people don't like the things to say because it's my opinion, and I'm allowed to have an opinion, and some people respect it. Some people might think otherwise. And being my countryman, if he was no disrespect, Sean, I absolutely think you're awesome, but I'm going to be shouting for my man, So it's not that I disrespect, the way he is. It's just
I got the Cleveland Browns or Browns football team, NFL football over here. And for the last, 40 something years, they've been one of the worst teams in football. But every year I'm talking about them like they're the best team in football. It's where I come from. It's what I support. I watch everybody else in the league. I'm always watching the Super Bowl and all that. But when you're going against my Browns, until that last TikTok, you ain't gonna win this game. So I respect that 100%. And on the same side, like last year, we were actually able to make the playoffs. Everybody's asking me, hey, what do you think the Browns are gonna do in the playoffs? I'm going to keep it real. I don't expect them to make it out of the first round. But I'm glad that they're here, and I'm going to root for them. Guess what? They actually made it out of the first round. Boom. Now what are they going to do now? I don't know, But guess what? I'm
I'll
gonna
be
be on
there
my
with them.
feet on
Yeah.
every single game. You know
Yeah.
what I mean, or every single play. You know, so I respect that 100%. You can keep it real
The
as
Brits are
to what
like
you
that, though.
expect.
The Brits
Yeah,
are.
you can keep it real, and then once it's time for it to play out, say, hey, I'm with my man. I appreciate you, Shawn.
Yeah.
You're a great guy, but I'm with my man. And
Yeah.
I'll say, all
That's
right,
the way
I'll
it
see you
goes.
after the fight.
The way it goes. Then we'll
You
talk
know, yeah,
again. Then we'll talk again. That's what
yeah.
the thing
There
is
you
for
go.
me. I think that if he continues the development the way he is at the moment, it might take him 6, 7, 8 more fights to potentially be at a better
Yeah,
level. Let's just say he's going to have to
yeah,
test himself a few more. Let's talking about Conor
yeah.
Benn. The only thing is there
And
is a big gulf between Conor Benn now,
yeah,
Virgil Ortiz now,
yeah,
Jaron Ennis now,
yeah,
you Pacquiao.
yeah,
You know what I
yeah,
mean? It's
yeah.
no
And let
disrespect to
me
Conor.
say this because everybody always wants to know, like, okay, so you're saying he's not ready right now. Well, when's he gonna be ready? If he's 18-0, he's got the name, he can draw fans. When's he gonna be ready? Boxing is just one of those things that it doesn't tell you when you're ready.
Yeah.
It doesn't tell you when it's gonna be your shot. All you have to do is be prepared, because when that time does come, you hopefully have done everything that it's taken, not only to get to that point, but to get over that hump and become a world championship fighter. So I'm not hating on him. I saw what he did the other day. I also know that his dad was wanting him to fight me and things like that. But what I will say is, I've been at world championship level since 2013. So
Yeah.
if anything, me fighting a guy who has not been at that level at all,
Doesn't
and
make sense.
also has under 20 fights, it really doesn't make sense. And
Mm-hmm.
so if you think that it does, you're either overestimating your fighter, underestimating me, or you don't know the business of boxing.
Yeah.